When you think of basketball players having the time of their lives, NBA superstars come to your mind. Bright lights, insane performances, wild parties in different cities. But there is one guy in Europe that is having this season of his dreams, and even NBA players could be jealous of his relationship with the fans.
Let's get it.
You want to sing?
I'm gonna sing right there with the Growberry.
For those of you who might not know him, his name is Mathias Lessort. Last year, he played only 5 EuroLeague games for Maccabi Tel Aviv, and despite his insane per-minute numbers and flashes of intriguing plays, his 2-month contract wasn't extended. Their first option at the center position came back from a short-term injury, while Maccabi also did not believe Lessort could be a better option than their second choice, Jalen Reynolds. Zeljko Obradovic and Partizan Belgrade did believe in the French big man. This is the first season in Lessort's career where a team projected him as the starting center for the whole season, and oh boy did he take that confidence with pride. He is the second most valuable player in the tournament by player index rating right after Sasha Vezenkov, and is definitely first at the most fun had in the whole league.
Too deep. And the flush. See, now this is exactly what we talked about.
Now imagine him sitting on the end of the bench for an NBA team. A checkmark would be earned, but can it be more enjoyable than this? He even went to participate in one of Partizan's fans' wedding to keep his promise and served as his best man. Maybe Dante Exum could answer the NBA question with more perspective, but he also seems to be having quite a lot of fun. Anyway, Lessort blossomed into a EuroLeague star right in front of your eyes. Partizan fans, and even more importantly Zeljko Obradovic, love him for a reason. There simply isn't a player that wants it more, that has more energy and passion on the court. It's amazing how he can play at this level of intensity for 30 minutes per game while having 9 35+ minute matches this campaign. But I guess that's the effect of 20,000 crazy fans rooting for you and not the effect of 3 cans of Red Bull before the game.
Papa Petru just wouldn't fall. Lessort right now is a one-man wrecking crew as he emotes on the rack.
Lessort was drafted with the 50th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, but never made a debut overseas. More often than not, he heard that he's undersized for the center position and can't shoot solid enough to be a floor-stretching power forward. While both very well could be true, 2 meter and 6 centimeter big man offers qualities that not many frontcourt players can be proud of. For example, he's super fast in transition. Because he isn't between the tallest of centers, he is often the faster one, surpassing his primary defenders and getting those easy layups or dunks at the rim. But that's not all. Now, how many centers can go coast to coast in the EuroLeague? If this was Shaq in a Fool, we would have a tragic Bronson alert right about now, but instead it's a smooth Euro step and a layup against Alba. Same incredible energy allows Lessort to turn another weakness into an advantage.
Lessort with the finger roll finish.
An undersized center is leading the league in the offensive rebounds category? You might wonder how that's possible. I already mentioned that he is a non-existent shooting threat. His shot chart consists of 235 paint tries and only 5 outside of it. But it allows Mathias to always be lurking for offensive rebounds near the rim as he grabs an insane 15% of all possible offensive rebounds, or in other words, gives Partizan 3.3 second chances per match. Teams know perfectly well they have to put a body on the sword, but it's not as easy as it may sound. The Frenchman's low gravity point allows him to quickly fake going for a rebound one way and then go to the opposite side, leaving the enemies behind. It is often said that rebounds, just like defense, is a question of will and desire. Lessort might lack size or shooting, but he is definitely not missing those two, often making the Stark Arena go absolutely nuts.
Partizan come back and turn it into points.
Here against Žalgiris, his fantastic seal after rolling down is what creates a second chance for Partizan. The ball simply falls into his lap after Abramovic misses. Sealing is a key skill for every big, but Lessort is exceptional at this. With his strength, he's able to keep the defender behind on an entry pass, and it gets him free throws here. Zeljko doesn't really allocate post-up plays for him because there are a bunch of gifted scorers on this team, but the big man's ability to seal allows him to get some back-to-the-basket touches. With so much offensive firepower around the perimeter and with Lessort not known as a huge weapon inside, opposing coaches rarely send double teams his way, but when he gets the ball so deep inside, it's extremely hard for the likes of Mike Kotsar or others to stop the bully ball of Lessort. His strength is definitely top tier, as Voigtman here has no chance of moving Lessort out of the paint for 3 seconds before he catches and scores.
How about that for a finish?
For those of you who are enjoying this video so far, we have a premium platform on our site. BasketNews Plus offers you a great deal of additional content, including my weekly breakdowns of European teams, an ability to see and ask questions for Urbanus Q&A podcasts, and to be included in a super active WhatsApp group with other basketball junkies. At the moment, we have some discounts for all subscription plans, and you can see them at basketnews.com/plus. Now, going back to the video, it's not like Mathias Lessort only knows how to seal, catch, and score in the paint. He is a classical modern big that runs, protects, and is dangerous in pick and rolls, but he can punish the switches if asked. As an undersized big, he has to have above average footwork, and here we see him moving smaller defenders closer to the rim, spinning baseline, and finishing with the left. However, his greatest asset is definitely the pick and roll game. Lessort is arguably the fastest frontcourt player to roll down after setting a screen, and it takes a slight moment until he finds himself lower than the opposing big. He is so quick to turn his body towards the basket that his primary defender can't really even spend a moment of showing himself to the guard because Lessort is already lower. Yui here is not in the paint when Mathias catches the ball above the free throw line, and in best case scenario, this could be a blocking foul.
The hoop, Lessort up over the rim and throws it down.
A couple of years ago, Mathias didn't have the best relationship with help side defenders. Travels, lost balls, offensive fouls, you know the deal with the big guys. Nobody is immune, and he still makes a mistake here and there, but that's been an area of improvement. Look how patiently he handles the contact with the last line of defense nowadays. Here against Maccabi, it's a nice catch on 2 legs and then using the pivot to get around Josh Nebo.
Lessort, some fancy footwork from the Frenchman.
Same 2-foot stop here in Madrid as well, allowing Hazonia to fly by. With this patient move, Lessort forces the defender to lose balance first. But my favorite footwork example comes from the game against Valencia, where Lessort demonstrates a fancy use of the pivot foot before making room for a dunk with his strength. Remember all the talent Partizan have in their backcourt? Many teams try to stop it by hedging the pick and roll, putting Mathias in a short roll situation. He has shown great decision making for a big guy there, just not in passing it out for a baseline cut or an open teammate on a three-point line. The center is outstanding at freezing the defense for a moment, letting them rotate before finishing the play himself. Nunnally does the right thing here, cutting along the baseline, and Giffey tries to close the obvious pass, but Lessort understands the situation and scores a layup himself. In the game against Žalgiris, Ulanovas does the same here, but this is where playing for Obradovic and knowing the next move pays off.
Fantastic take to the rack through traffic by Mathias Lessort.
I'm not going to talk a lot about Lessort's defense in this video because Partizan utilized so many diverse and aggressive defensive coverages in every game, making it almost completely a team's job rather than one individual person's. However, there's one aspect where an undersized center is an advantage for his team. Lessort offers a solid late switch possibility where he can stay in front of dominant guards and contest their step-back attempts. In some games, such a capability becomes a vital part of Zeljko's defensive game plan, while in others, he's much more of a rim protector.
He's fronted, so he takes it alone and gets his shot absolutely wiped out.
At the start of the season, Partizan were a complete mess defensively because of all the new things and short rotation. But now they're clicking while Mathias Lessort plays a big role in it. And one thing is for sure, he is definitely having a time of his life doing it. So finally, what do you guys think? Is dominating in Europe and being a part of something like this worth declining your NBA dream? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.